No, I walked in and the girl had just puked up a little piece of plastic plant.
From my mom.
Who did this? Who made this?
That is insane. And he's like, I gotta dip.
Honestly, he's lucky.
I gotta dip. I know, right? Here we go.
I met this doctor who had created an ice pack that basically it looked like a dildo.
Okay.
But the whole purpose was like, after a woman gives birth, her vagina is just the whole genital area is just,
it's bad news.
It's like it got into a tiny car accident.
Yeah, right. It's totaled.
Yeah.
Your vagina is totaled.
So there's all kinds of swelling and inflammation and pain.
Right.
And so this woman innovated this. It was like an ice pack.
Yeah.
That you just put inside yourself.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, it totally makes sense because
sure.
You're providing you're cooling this.
Right.
This painful, inflamed tissue.
Because your vagina was just in the NFL for a week.
Right.
It was like your vagina has CTE.
And I was like, that is a really clever idea. I hope it's been commercially successful. This is years ago.
If you're a prostitute that that's had a child, you have to disclose that your vagina is a salvage title. I think that's baseline. We can all agree on that. I want the Carfax. I want the Carfax on that vagina
specifically.
Well, you're not gonna put on. You could put on your Tinder, sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway,
I would say if it was somebody if a prostitute who spent a week with an NFL team, then yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some trauma there for sure. But that's a cool concept.
But we could innovate and create one that's for the booty hole.
Yeah, right.
And it's not only an ice pack, but it comes with an aloe vera gel lubricant.
That sounds so nice right now.
So then you get the aloe, like you want lubricant, of course.
Yeah.
But then it's aloe vera based,
right.
So it's like healing and soothing.
Right.
And then you get the ice pack effect.
Yeah. The reason we're talking about this, by the way, is because I just had taco night. And the habanero salsa is hitting in most heinous ways right now.
Yes, I've been there.
It's brutal.
I have
very
been there.
brutal.
Man, sometimes you eat a food and you're like, oh, this is so delicious. This is so spicy.
Yeah.
And in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm not looking forward to how the story ends.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna live in the moment. I'm gonna enjoy what I have while I have it.
Right.
And I'll burn that bunghole when I come to it.
There are a lot of things in life that are like that. That's like there's an upfront, like it's an investment. Like you enjoy something, but then the other foot's gonna drop.
Well, yeah,
it's like drinking.
Yes.
Right. You're like, if you just go out and have a wild night of partying or whatever, it's gonna be the time of your life. But the next day you're gonna pay for it.
Yes.
But it's like you pay the troll toll. You pay the toll, and there are certain things in life that I think some of us are willing to pay for, and other things that we're not. Like taco night, I'm willing to have a bleeding asshole afterwards for a good taco night.
Tell us about your tacos. What kind of tacos did you get into?
So the lady and I went to Vallarta, which is a Mexican grocery store that's nearby, and we picked up a variety of meats. They were like raw but marinated meats.
Okay.
Pork, chicken, and beef. It was like, according to the lady, it was like 4 pounds of meat for $16.
It's a deal.
Insanely good deal. And so we picked
that
up
pre-marinated and
pre-marinated.
cut?
We just threw it on the cast iron.
Okay.
And then done within like 10 minutes.
Nice.
Easiest thing ever. We got like handmade tortillas bought from the store, fresh, and then a bunch of salsas. We got like the guacamole salsa, the roja, and then a habanero verde salsa, which only I dabbled with. The lady was she could not handle that, but she actually did buy some green salsa that she thought was just salsa verde, but it was actually like chile picante like extract.
Ooh.
And then midway through her first taco, she was like, "It's pretty hot." And then she like gets up, just like excuse herself, comes back with literally an ice cube on a little tray. She had like literally an ice cube on a platter and was just sucking on that for like the rest of the meal. It's crazy.
Oh man!
But taco night was a success. Apart from that. And for very cheap, too.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm weird or not, but I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah.
I'm a flour tortilla guy. Like,
Okay, this is a good debate.
If you give me, I respect the history
Sure.
and the culture.
Corn is OG.
Yeah, but like you give me a burrito or a taco or
burrito has to be flour. I think even like the
I've
never even
I guess
seen
corn tortillas.
It doesn't really it'll tear.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. That aside,
right?
Any taco, I'm probably gonna enjoy it more if it's on a flour.
Even like the really classic
tortilla.
street tacos that have like the little dime, like the really small size corn tortillas. They like do like usually 2 of them.
I'll eat
double
those.
layer.
I'll eat those and I'll enjoy them.
I think those work really well.
I would be interested to see how they worked with the flour tortilla.
True.
I'm just out of curiosity.
I'm sure they'd still be amazing. Yeah.
And on that, I can't say that 100%. I would choose the flour tortilla because I haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
But I would like to try it and just give it.
The tortillas we picked up at the store were hybrid.
Oh, interesting.
They were flour corn, which we'd never seen. We rolled the dice on it. Super good.
Mm-hmm.
Had like sort of like the starchy, stretchy chewiness of a flour tortilla, but then just enough corn to make you feel less like a gringo. It was really nice.
Okay, I want to learn more about that.
Yeah, I don't. And then I asked the guy at the cashier, I was like, "Have you tried these?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "No, those are new. That's like we just got them a couple months ago." He's like, "I've heard they're good," and I was like, "All right." They were good. Well, we've got more. You can try them out.
Because the main thing for me is well, it's flavor and texture. I personally I don't care that much for the flavor of corn tortillas.
Yeah.
I don't mind the texture, but I definitely prefer the flavor and texture of flour tortillas over corn tortillas.
Sure.
But the idea of a hybrid is actually intriguing because I can see how that could potentially be, different and enjoyable and maybe the best of both worlds.
Right.
Because I'm not decrying corn tortillas as terrible.
Sure.
It's just not that they're not my preference.
Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to the street tacos, that's where I love corn tortillas the most. The flavor doesn't even factor in. It's more about the texture for me because generally street tacos are so flavorful within the meat and the juices and the lime and cilantro that it's like it's the tortilla is simply just a vessel.
Yes.
But a texture based one. But when it comes to like a wrap or something, if we're going outside of just Mexican cuisine, I think flour tortillas is what I swear by all the time. But as far as a street taco that I'm getting from like a taco stand, food truck, whatever, it's got to be a corn tortilla. That always hits the best for me.
I want to see more fusion cuisine with crossing over, things that are wrapped with different types. So like imagine, if you will, a fusion cuisine like burrito.
Okay.
That's got I don't know, maybe some it's fundamentally a burrito still.
Right.
But it's got, instead of carne asada, it's got like tandoori chicken.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Chopped up, and then
right.
like the other stuff that is flavor profiled to work with that.
Right.
And then instead of a tortilla, it's wrapped in like
naan.
an extra thin like naan.
That'd be sick. I mean, there's so many good fusion places out there, but I can't think of any that have multiple cuisines within one restaurant. Mm-hmm. Usually it's like a Korean Mexican fusion, and it's all like bulgogi and Korean barbecue based, but I've never seen one that does a little bit of everything, like it has variety, like just fusion across the board. That'd be nice.
That would get messy fast.
Indian, Mediterranean, Asian. I mean, there's a lot you could do with it. There's so many good fusion places out there.
That is I will admit, that is one of the benefits of California, is there is so much culinary innovation that happens here. And then the sad thing is, not all of it is successful. Like I've gone and eaten at places where I was like, man, this is amazing food.
Yeah.
And then I go back a year later and it's gone. And and it's like, well, I'm glad I got to have that experience.
In LA or abroad?
I don't know if I would say that necessarily about LA, but like it's happened, and I'm confident that it happens here as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy because like different states, I've traveled here and there to different states, and like every place has their like specialty, whatever big city or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I remember I went to, I think it was Philadelphia, and they had like really good like chicken and grits. There was like a place down the street from my Airbnb that had really good chicken and grits. I like yelped it. Amazing. I was like, this is better than any chicken and grits I've had back home.
Is
But
chicken
then-
and grits fried chicken?
It's fried chicken.
Okay.
Super good. And then like barbecue stuff. But then like that's it. Like every other place was kind of just a copycat of that in that area. It was just more of the same.
So it was like their Philly cheesesteak?
In a sense, it was just like a chicken barbecue place, like southern,
Okay.
almost like southern chicken place.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that's classic to Philadelphia. I might even be getting
No,
the
I'm just
place
saying
wrong.
like a Philly cheesesteak is like
Oh,
an
yeah, yeah,
iconic
yeah.
thing.
Exactly.
And everybody's copying it and saying their version is better.
Right. I guess what I'm getting at is a lot of places across the U.S. that aren't L.A. or New York have their specialties that are amazing. It's the best that you can find of that particular thing in the world.
Yeah.
But outside of that, if you're just sticking to that local area, there's not a whole lot of variety like we have in these massive cities
That's true.
like L.A. Like there was like, okay, if you're going for Memphis barbecue, Tennessee, Nashville, that's going to be your best bet. You'll never find anything better than that for that specific thing. But good luck finding like a bomb ramen place in that area.
yes.
Whereas LA, we are incredibly spoiled. We just have everything all the time, and it's the best of everything. Almost.
I will say, and I'll preface this with, I don't usually go out for ramen.
Yeah.
I rarely go out for ramen.
Yeah.
But the best ramen place that I've been to is actually in the Netherlands.
Really?
Yeah, and because all I've ever had out here is pork ramen,
Okay.
and I didn't know that chicken ramen was a thing.
Yeah.
And they had spicy chicken ramen with like extra black garlic and all this stuff, and it was like one of those ramen sessions where you just end up like kind of sweaty,
Yeah.
and full but not too full,
Right.
and like just
The flavor was insane.
savory. Your savoriness is maxed out, and
Oh,
you're
man.
so satisfied.
That's pretty impressive that your favorite ramen was chicken ramen, because generally pork is known to be like the more flavorful broth, like flavor rich. And
I get it. Like I've had it and I like it, but I don't know. It's like for some reason for me it just is. I want to explore more options than pork because I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like my preference is I'm gonna find something other than pork ramen I'm like, this is my favorite. And right now
Right.
I think it might be chicken.
Nice. We Mel and I went to a Sukumen restaurant in Japan when we went a few months ago, and it was probably one of the best meals I've had in recent memory. Do you know what Sukumen is?
No.
Sukumen is dipping ramen. So they serve the broth and the noodles separately, and you pick up the noodles and you dip them in the broth, and then you eat them.
But so the noodles are cool or
They're hot.
Okay.
Yeah, they're either room temp or like warm, hot,
Okay.
or whatever. They're not cold. There are cold places like that, but this is just hot. It's served hot. You dip the noodles in the ramen broth, and it was incredible. It was just absolutely incredible. It was like a tiny little bar, like most restaurants in Japan are in Tokyo. Just like a tiny little 10-seater place, and it was just filled with a bunch of single dudes, just a bunch of single Japanese men, all at the bar, just like in their zone. And then she and I walk in. You order from a machine. It's just like all automated, and then you just have two guys behind the bar just cranking shit out.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. I mean, just like the flavor of the broth was, in a weird way, it's like your brain knows that these ingredients are not from home.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't
Yeah.
explain it, but you're just like, this tastes.
I get what you're talking
This
about.
tastes exotic in the best way possible. Like we just don't have that, I don't know, quality or whatever of ingredients.
So did the ordering machine have an English option?
It was.
Or did you use like
think it was-
Google Translate with your phone?
It was a popular enough place in a touristy enough area to have like an English translation.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places in even Tokyo where we had to bust out the translator on the phone.
How smooth of an experience was that for you? Like, did you find that having universal translator in your hand made things really easy.
It was helpful at times. Like, if you're at a small enough restaurant that you just don't know what the hell this item is, you can just scan it and be like, oh, you can kind of get an idea of what ingredients are in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're at like a smaller train stop, like a train station, you just need to like translate, okay, what city is this, or what district is this headed to?
Right.
Very useful. I mean, that's how it was actually more useful to me in Colombia. Just because I think Colombia is not quite doesn't have that same level of Western tourism that Tokyo does.
That tends to breed, English translation stuff.
Exactly. So I was whipping that phone out all the time, constantly getting directions, ordering food.
Did you use it to translate, like for conversations?
I did, actually. Yeah.
I always thought that was a really I
had a full blown conversation with the guy on a gondola, just with Google Translate.
Yeah,
just like speaking into the phone, letting it say it, and then him going back and forth for like half an hour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. We became buds. It was awesome. Yeah, he was just like, it was just so cool, like just to be able to like have a conversation in that way with
just breaking through a language barrier.
Yeah. He was like, I have a job interview tomorrow as a security guard. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, I'm just trying to get that bag, just trying to get paid. It's just such a chill guy. He's like, you want to hang out after this? I was like, no, I can't. I gotta vlog. And it's like always like wondering, like, is this translation coming through? Like what's he actually hearing, and how is he interpreting this? But I mean, just to be able to even get that close is pretty cool.
That is pretty awesome. Technology does some cool stuff. Speaking of which, I saw this post on Reddit.
Yeah.
Somebody was dumpster diving, and they found these flowers in a dumpster glowing in the dark.
Flowers glowing in the dark?
Mm-hmm.
Like natural flowers?
Turns out not as natural as they're real flowers. They're glowing. It's a real plant.
Okay. Why were they glowing?
Turns out, that actually, now that I think about it, I put my jaded mindset hat on. That could have been very, very clever marketing. But anyway, turns out there's this company that took bioluminescent genes from mushrooms.
Okay.
And inserted them into petunias.
Ooh.
So these petunias are able to glow like this faint kind of green color.
Yeah.
In the dark.
That's pretty wild. And
it's not like you have to have a black light to make, because there's some fish where if you have a black light, it makes them really pop.
Sure.
But they just naturally glow.
Wow.
They're called firefly petunias.
Wow.
And so
that's pretty badass.
I thought it was super cool.
I bet they're expensive as hell.
They're like $30, but they're sold out.
I wonder if
And then so I was like, I thought it was really interesting because interesting genetically modified products are hitting the market. Obviously, we've been consuming genetically modified foodstuffs for a decade plus.
Sure.
And we kind of take that for granted. But on the more consumer side of things, there you go.
That's sick. This is like what college me would have in his
stoner
dorm,
den.
his stoner den bedroom, dorm apartment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right next to all the blacklight posters.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have a bunch of these petunias.
The coolest thing about that is
I just got them online.
Having a plant where you turn out the lights.
Yeah.
And your plant's just like a nightlight.
That's sick.
And it just doesn't need electricity or anything special. You just it's a plant. It's growing. It's glowing.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
It also just puts a waypoint on plants for my cats to be like, oh, I should probably eat that. It's just they're 100% hyper aware of it. Like, oh, I should probably eat that glowing plant. That looks cool. Yeah,
they would be all over it. And that's why you can't have real house plants.
That's why I have just a random plant in my bathroom, in my master bathroom.
Oh, it is a real plant.
What? No, it's fake.
Oh, it's fake.
I have a
Okay.
fake plant that I put out in the living room, and I started seeing all these vomit piles in the living room, on the carpet, on the floor. And I was like, oh, and then you could see like what they threw up. So I was like, I was like literally like a forensic scientist, like lining up the strands of plant to all the other fake plants in my house.
Matches.
We have a match. We have a match. Kyle made a gruesome discovery. And then I had to secure the plant, dude. I had to secure the plant. And those fuckers will still sneak into my bathroom sometimes and just, take a little nibble. And then for some reason, that plant specifically, they puke out 100% of the time.
Ooh, I have an idea. I bet there's already a product for this. There's all kinds of products for like, you spray this on things so your cats won't fuck with it, right?
Yeah, I've got stuff like that, yeah.
But you know how compressed air duster for computers has bitter compound added to it?
Okay.
Have you ever
So you don't, like, kids don't fucking eat it.
rot their brain with it?
Right.
Yeah. So that stuff I've actually used that before.
Mm-hmm. For fun?
No, I was like, I wanted to stop biting at my nails.
Oh, yeah.
So I remembered there was a long time ago there's like nail polish that had like
I used to use it.
Yeah, okay.
I used to use it.
So what I would do is I would just take the computer duster, turn it upside down, and just do a quick swipe across my fingers.
And that would do it, huh?
And then that would it would leave that really bitter taste on my fingers.
Right.
But I was wondering, what if you take that and you just
put on the plants,
give your plants a quick spritz of Bitterant?
I might try that, honestly. I've tried things like lavender and peppermint, things that cats are supposed to hate.
Yeah.
My cats don't care. They're just like, we'll deal with it.
I want to eat something green and then vomit it up.
They're very similar to me in that way because I used to have that nail polish to put on my nails to stop me from biting.
Yeah.
I just adapted to the flavor.
Yeah.
So my cats are probably the exact same way. They're like, peppermint's not that bad.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not that bad. This plant is delicious. I'll take it. It's crazy.
I remember one day I heard it sounded like a fart in here.
From me or the cat?
No, you were out of town.
Okay.
And I was like, I walked out and I was like, it sounded like somebody just farted in here.
There's no way the cat's farted.
No, I walked in and the girl had just puked up a little piece of plastic plant. And I was like, oh, that's what that was. But the fact
was
that
a fart sound.
My brain registered it as a fart sound.
I guess they got to compensate somehow because like I've never heard my cats fart once. I don't know if cats audibly fart. I know they have to fart, but I've never smelt a cat fart to my knowledge, and I've never heard one.
Well,
in 12 years of having them.
I don't know.
Do cat farts exist?
Hey,
cat
fart? Owners, do your cats fart? We want to know.
Do cats fart? They definitely should.
Because everybody knows dogs fart.
Dog farts are undeniable. Like
they're a legitimate phenomenon.
They're treacherous.
Yeah.
Yes, cats fart, and it's a normal part of their digestive process. In fact, World Small Animal Veterinary Association includes flatulence as an altered gastrointestinal
so
function.
It's unusual
in its nutritional screening checklist.
So they shouldn't fart. Like
it says
like
it's a normal part. It says it's a normal part of
okay.
their digestive process.
Oh.
Okay.
Like your cats are stealth farters, or they just are not inclined to flatulence.
Maybe they stink if it's like a bad diet or something like that.
Huh.
But yeah, I've never heard them fart once. They don't make, apart from meowing and occasionally screaming at the neighborhood cats outside,
or bumping their heads into furniture.
Yeah, I do hear
like clunk.
Scared me for a while when I first got him, just like hearing things go bump in the night, literally. And then I realized it was just the girl pounding her head on the corner of my bed, like on my bedpost. I'm like, what are you doing, you freak?
Yeah.
She's like, are you okay? We need a...
She definitely just donks on random corners.
Yeah. Till
Intentionally.
She's eliminated most of her brain cells that way, I think.
They're the surviving brain cells are the tough ones.
Yeah.
So that glowing plant that I was reading about led me to learn about another interesting just dropped product, which is it's a tomato that has Snapdragon.
Sorry,
Gucci.
The recorder is like flashing. The text was flashing, which you see it flashing.
I can't tell.
Okay, I was just making sure that it was still recording. We're good.
Okay, so tomato that has Snapdragon genes.
Snapdragon processor.
Snapdragon is a
It's a
flower.
Qualcomm. This is a Qualcomm tomato.
Oh my god.
All right,
that would actually be hilarious.
That would be great.
It would be, oh, you have a potato clock? I have a Snapdragon tomato clock.
We already got Raspberry Pi, so more the merrier.
I thought it was really interesting.
Okay.
And I don't view genetically modified organisms and products as just like open arms. Like I regard them with scrutiny.
Sure.
But I do appreciate the innovation and the creativity that goes into it.
Right.
So they took a tomato and they added genes from a Snapdragon plant, which results in the tomato fruit being this deep like crimson purple color.
Yeah.
And it's because of the like when you have colorful flowers, a lot of the pigments that create the color in the flower can have health benefits.
Wow. It looks like a plum.
Yeah.
Wow. It's so dark.
And in the case of this tomato, it has a bunch of anthocyanidin. Okay, I'm not going to pronounce it correctly. Anthocyanidins. That's probably almost right. Which normally you get from eating stuff like blackberries and blueberries and stuff like that.
Anthocyanins.
Anthocyanidins. Anthocyanins? Okay. Well, I my brain was too big for my tongue britches.
Some tomatoes also have been modified genetically with transcription factors from snapdragons to produce high levels of anthocyanins in the fruits. Anthocyanins also may be found in naturally ripened olives and are partly responsible for the red and purple colors of some olives.
Okay, then I was wrong about the connection with berries. It's a different thing, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, those have some extra health benefits.
Nice. We can do it with like cauliflower too. I guess purple cauliflower, similar thing.
I think that's just been bred that way.
Well, it says purple cauliflower contains anthocyanins.
Okay.
So
that's an example of it naturally occurring or having been bred that way.
Right.
As opposed to just direct genetic manipulation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Why haven't we done that with like meat? Why don't we have like purple filet mignon? Don't you think we can do that?
Remember years and years ago when Heinz came out with what was it?
Oh, the ketchup that was like
what was that?
Green?
It was like was it green ketchup?
It might have been green ketchup.
I think it was green. It was like a Halloween thing or it was a movie promo thing.
Yeah, and it was a total fucking flop.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted green ketchup.
Nobody wanted green ketchup.
Ketchup's already a questionable condiment.
Like that
being red.
That marketing team should have gotten fired.
Fucking flame, dude. Yeah, it was bad.
But yeah, I saw those two things recently, and I was like, we're entering a new era of genetically modified organisms being entering into the consumer space.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I gives me pause because there's a lot of potential for things going wrong.
Right.
In the case of both of these products, they were both FDA approved to be sold and, consumed.
Sure.
Not the petunias probably, but, for consumption.
Yeah.
So there is a regulatory process, but I personally am I think that the FDA can be bought and sold very, very easily.
For sure.
So I don't know that as if it's our only line of defense against really bad ideas for genetically modified organisms being turned into commercialized products.
Sure.
That gives me a bit of concern.
I mean, I feel like the FDA just approves so many things because it just gets money from it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like there's some, like obviously you have to pay them to get FDA approved, right?
Well,
like you can't just.
you don't. I don't have a full understanding of it, but my
Okay.
understanding is if you want something that's FDA approved, mainly what you pay for is a very thorough battery of testing and validation
Sure.
and documentation. And if you're paying money to the FDA, it's probably just your application fee
Right.
and the processing fees and scientific review fees, and I'm sure it adds up to a lot. But you don't just go to the FDA and say, I want to pay you this much money to get my product approved.
But I wonder if
There's a lot of actual approving oversight and regulatory.
But I wonder
oversight
if like
that
how
happens.
do they like? I wonder if they get money from businesses.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, dude, like the
They have to, right?
the head of the FDA, like the leadership of the FDA
Yeah.
and leaders of like pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
It's a revolving door.
Right.
They're always, they're bouncing in between. Like you CEO for Pfizer for 5 years,
Sure.
and then you're head of the FDA for 5 years,
Yeah.
and then you
Bit of
go
a
work
conflict
at
of interest
another
there.
pharma company, and then somebody else from another pharma company takes that role. It's wild.
It's interesting when I Google, does it cost money to get FDA approved? 0 Google results. It says, it looks like there aren't many great matches for your search. It just doesn't have anything on it. Very sus.
That's interesting. I think
Of all the things.
I think if you search, does it cost money to get FDA approval for a medication? That would probably get you more of what you're looking for.
Yeah. Dude, we were talking about, speaking of sort of, I guess this kind of counts. We were talking about like, and you might have something to speak on this because of your background, but Mel had a canker sore. She had like 2 canker sores this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to like the grocery store, like Rite Aid pharmacy, and we got those like canker sore patches, and they were like $15 for like 6 patches, which is extremely expensive. And there were no generic or knockoff brands. And so like she was doing she like Googled it, as Zoomers do. And she was like, apparently like a medical brand who comes to market with something like this, a medicine or whatever,
Right.
has a patent on it for a certain finite number of years where
Yeah.
they can just, where there can't be any copycats, there can't be anything
Right.
generic. And then after that, then there could be generic versions of it.
Right.
And so we realized, like, it was like, oh, like this thing, it was like a canker sore patch, is a relatively recent development, probably within the last 10 years, where they still are within their
They
patent.
still have
They still have their exclusivity with their patent, and there are no, like we looked on Amazon, there are no generic versions of it yet. So they're
Right.
able to charge astronomical prices for it until those generic versions come out.
Right.
Which I thought was very interesting.
And in tying into that, one thing that a lot of companies will do is they'll develop a drug, and then they'll develop basically a slightly better version of that drug, so that when their patent is running out and they're at risk of the market being, their market share being lost.
Sure.
They release this new and improved one,
Got an ace up the sleeve.
and they just kind of it's almost like rolling out software updates.
Yeah.
But they just roll out new
The
versions
2.0.
of a medication,
Sure.
so that they retain exclusive, and they can kind of keep that going indefinitely.
Right.
That doesn't stop, as far as I know, it doesn't stop the original medication from becoming a generic.
Right.
Or maybe it does. I think what happens is, if it's substantially the same but with like a little tweak that makes it better,
Yeah.
then I think that allows them to also extend their exclusive patent
interesting.
on the original.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's
fun
a
little
mess,
loophole.
dude. The regulatory system is just,
Yeah.
it's a hot mess.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of red tape to cut through. But switching gears here.
Okay.
I actually have some gifts for me and you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Let me bust those out really quick.
I like gifts. I like Starbucks. Whoa, what is this I'm receiving?
So, these are from my mom.
No.
Yes. So, some of them are mine, some of them are yours, but I think she has been watching the podcast pretty regularly and decided that we both should get socks. We have a crazy selection of socks from my mom.
Who did this? Who made this?
That is insane, right?
It comes with a little comb.
It is. They are Donald Trump themed socks with actual Trump hair, like a Trump toupee. It's like actually like hair coming off of the sock.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
it could blow in the breeze.
If you're having like a slumber party with a bunch of like your Democratic friends, like those are the socks to wear, dude.
It does.
Just
it does
to get them
come
fired up
with a tiny little comb for styling of the hair, as if that's worth trying.
How many maggots show up to like Trump rallies barefoot just in those socks? It's got to be insane.
And
it's such a wild purchase from my mom.
I
to be like that's on her Amazon order history. It's like Trump MAGA socks.
I honestly can't tell if this is a.
She's on some kind of list now.
If I wore these, I honestly don't know if people would perceive it as a pro or anti-Trump article of clothing,
because Trump is just like kind of a meme. So you know what I mean. So it's hard to know which way you lean just by showing off something like that. It's like, is this a mockery or is this a?
I'll pay you $20 to wear these and with shorts.
Yeah.
For a day
In like WeHo or somewhere
like you can't just sit at home. You have to go out. And you have to take the comb.
Go to a brewery in downtown LA with those on.
Yes.
And just get your ass beat.
I'll pay you $20 to do that.
These are hilarious.
They are ludicrous.
Very well done. Ridiculous. Cozy Mate Trump socks. All right, what else you got there?
I
haven't explored the others.
It says gifts for animal lovers.
I'm guessing more socks based on the packaging.
These do appear to be socks of the novelty variety. I'm afraid. All right, what we got? Oh, they're like grippy socks. But the grippy stuff is text.
Oh, it's like a design.
Yeah, what does it say?
Best cat dad ever. Okay, with a cat giving middle fingers.
Well, these feel pretty nice.
I know
you don't like the longer.
The longer. Let me check out one of those.
They do feel pretty good though.
Actually, not bad. Look at the cat look at my mom just being all edgy. Suddenly, my mom's trying to be cool.
Your mom is great.
Getting you Trump socks, getting you cats giving the finger. Mom's getting a little edgy. Look at that. She's a diehard listener of the pod at this point. We've converted her.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that she puts up with me despite all my nonsense.
It's pretty rad. Actually, I like these socks. They're very comfy. I might just wear them on my hands.
Oh, that's sweet.
What's that? Best son ever? Oh God. All right, that's pretty gay. Let's be real.
Bro, you wear these on Mother's Day,
so
okay?
Funny. For sure. That's the one day that those get some action.
Or like
that's when you break them out.
Thanksgiving or Christmas, like when she's busting out like massive amounts of delicious food.
Yeah.
You can
or I wear it to like your family's Thanksgiving or something just to like flex, be like, you thought Ian was cool?
All right, we'll see how that goes.
Look
down.
what I'm rocking, dude. She said that there's some green ones in there that are for you. I think she said the green ones are for Ian.
Okay.
So if you see green socks in this package, so it keeps coming. Audio listeners who don't have any visual on us right now, we've got 3 more packages here, 2 of which are identical that might be more socks. My mom has clearly gotten the memo from previous episodes that I cannot keep a pair of socks without holes in them. And
take a look at your current pair.
Actually, oh yeah, damn it. I was really about to fucking flex on everyone and be like, but today, no, I actually have 3 holes combined.
It's like tiny gnomes come and shoot your socks with shotguns at night.
They're Swiss made, dude. I got Swiss cheese socks, dude. Give me a break. No one complains about Swiss cheese.
Okay, I like these socks.
Oh yeah, I think those are probably the ones for you. What are those? Pickles? I'm kind of a big dill. That is classic mom humor.
This is some good dad joke socks right here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
I can see you rocking those.
I'm gonna wear those for sure.
You are kind of a big dill.
I like being a big dill.
Dill.
Dude, you remember dilly bars from Dairy Queen?
What the hell's a dilly bar? I remember Blizzards.
They're like these pre-made.
These things. They were like circular ice cream, chocolate-covered ice cream bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit. Forgot about these. Dilly.
I got double dill.
You got double dill. Dude, one for... You have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's great because I do prefer a little bit longer socks.
She wanted to make sure you were topped up, dude.
That's perfect. That's great. Thank you.
For the winter seasons coming in.
Thank you kindly.
It is getting colder finally, thank God. And then we have a final package, which doesn't look to be socks. It could be.
It's got a little heft to it. The center of gravity is way over to the side here.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of density over here.
Yeah.
It's quite light over here.
Looks like a little pizza box, but oh no! Did you read the label?
Yeah.
What is? Go for it.
I think you're gonna appreciate this.
All right.
I certainly enjoy it. Come on.
Mom's just been up to no good.
Oh man, she's on fire. She's on a roll with these. Okay. Prepare yourself.
All right. Drum roll. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I had an idea she was sending me one of those. It's a slate. It is a video slate for syncing audio. Actually, this is kind of legit. This is something that I probably should have bought 12 years ago when I started doing video production, and I'm just now getting to enjoy. Look at that. It's a slate. Take one. Clapping. It's sad that no clap I ever do will be as satisfying as that. Here we go. It's actually pretty solid.
And now you have trolled yourself for when you edit.
No, thankfully this is midway through, so I won't make a mistake. But now you're going to fucking use this as a taunting mechanism while I'm trying to actually clap because I'm just so used to clapping that I probably will forget about this, and then you'll just pull it out last minute and be like, nope.
Just leave it back here.
Yeah. Nice. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, those are some great
solid gifts.
Great choices.
Moms are, I guess they've kind of perfect their craft over the years, over a lifetime of just like being good gift givers.
What would you say is the best Christmas present that you ever got?
Oof.
Like not necessarily best in terms of just like overall,
right.
But like what was the one that was like, that you were the most hyped for?
The one I lost my mind over?
Yeah.
Dude, N64.
Wow.
N64 for sure. I mean, I think that's most young boys, is a video game console. There's nothing like it. I mean, that's S tier. That's an S tier gift, I think, for most young boys. N64, closely followed by a Game Boy.
Okay.
But it was crazy because she gave me the Game Boy, and then like a week later, Game Boy Color came out, and so I made a return.
Oh.
I was like, I kind of want the color one. And then she did. She actually did. But the one she gave me, the original one, was like the transparent plastic, so you could see all of like the PCB and like the internals.
Oh, that was
the
a
internal
cool one.
componentry.
That was a cool one
of the Game Boy, which was super sick. But I traded that up for a Game Boy Color because I wanted color, and it was magical. And Game Boy was my life for many years. But yeah, N64, I would have to say, it just blew my mind. I mean, it blew my mind.
What games came with that?
At the time, it was like GoldenEye was a really big one.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
007.
Yeah.
That was huge, especially because it was like 4-player split screen. You could play with up to three of your friends, and we would just play that. We'd have sleepovers and game all night. Perfect Dark was another great 4-player split screen shooter that was not part of any other existing IP. It was just an original Nintendo thing that just came and went, but it was such a good shooter with a lot of like customizability, great guns and stuff. And then you had, of course, Super Mario 64, which was just, you know, being a Mario kid growing up. I mean, my first ever video game experience was when my dad got me the original NES, and it was like 1990. I think I was like 4 years old or something like that. Maybe 1991. And or 92 actually, and it you know, I played Mario for years, you know, for 10 years until N64 came out, and it was the first time Mario was now 3D. It was the same IP that I knew and loved, now in a completely, you know, like unbelievable portrayal of just like 3-dimensional world. It was almost kind of open world, I guess you could call it. You know what I mean? It was really ahead of its time. It wasn't really like the typical Mario games where it was on rails.
Yeah.
You had a full world to explore, and it was, I mean, it was,
it was literally good. A whole new dimension, because you're going from 2D to 3D.
And like my dad was like obsessed with it. Like he and I would play it together.
That's cool.
And would like try to collect the stars and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like racked up so many hours on this fucking, I'm sure like that N64 probably caused a lot of fights between my mom and my dad, because he would spend just as much time.
That's such good like father-son bonding time.
It's the ultimate.
Yeah,
it's the ultimate, because like you're both just as dialed in to it.
Yeah,
like he was just as into it as I was.
Right.
So and that continued with PlayStation. You know, after I got an N64, I eventually got a PlayStation. We played like Crash Bandicoot together. You remember? I know you weren't a console gamer at all.
I have never owned a console.
I would say did you ever play any PC games with your dad?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And probably most notably Duke Nukem 3D.
Was that multiplayer?
It was, and you could play co-op.
I did not know that.
It was awesome. I used to play that with my dad and my sister.
Oh, that's awesome.
We would play Duke Nukem 3D co-op.
Super cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Damn, dude.
And
those are the days.
I think there was a couple of racing games like Need for Speed or something.
Yeah.
But Duke Nukem 3D, that's like core memory for me.
Oh my gosh. What good times. When back in the day when like local co-op was kind of like golden age of local co-op.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now it's all just online. You play with someone who's on the different side of the world or whatever. But back then it was like it was the first time local co-op really existed. I think you had the closest to that was maybe SNES, where you had one other controller, one other player could play certain games with you, Street Fighter or Mario Kart. But then once the 3D element came, then it was like up to 4 people, and then it became more of a party, like a party environment.
And then Smash came along, and
Smash oh my god, dude, Smash just changed the game. It's changed the game. You never played Smash with like people in school back in the day?
I played Smash with you and
with me, yeah. But like when N64 came out and Smash 64 came out, that was all my friends and I did. That's all we cared about. We didn't care about anything else. We didn't want to go outside. We were just like, let's just keep playing Smash until it's 3 a.m. and our parents are yelling at us. And it was phenomenal. It was so fun.
Man, I wonder what the next generation of how the, you know, like the early memories of the first games that you played will be like for like the next generation of gamers. Like, what about the gamers who grew up playing Roblox and Fortnite? Like,
man,
how will their trajectory in, you know, gaming be different or the same, because that was their jumping off point? Like,
man, I feel like I don't know. I feel like the delta between them gaming now and them gaming in the future is not going to be as drastic as it was for us.
I think so.
because
Especially because
really came in the early part of it.
So many of the games that folks our age played were originally just single player, and
Yeah.
so many of the games now are intrinsically multiplayer.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I don't see that as necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's just a notable difference.
Right. I mean, by the time like kids these days are playing like Roblox games that you can play massive online, 100 people in a server. It's like, how much different is it going to be 20 years from now? I would imagine it's going to be more maybe like VR type games or.
Bro, I want to get into VR now.
Yeah.
Like, I
because of the new PC.
Yeah, and I never finished Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, you got to.
And I was watching some different VR games that are out there, and I was like, man,
yeah,
I want to go through my Steam library and see what's VR compatible.
Yeah. Dude, you gotta be careful with VR, dude. Beware of VR chat. I think it's called VR chat.
Oh yeah, VR chat,
where it's like basically just like the old school like MSN chat rooms back in the day, but just in VR.
Yeah,
like Alvaro was telling me, like he was in VR, like he got a Quest, like a VR headset, and started just like diving in. He's like, oh, VR chat, let's check this out. And he was like just like hanging out in this room, and then like this chick avatar or whatever started talking to him, and then like in VR like starts giving him like a strip dance, like a strip tease, like a pole dance.
Wow.
And then he's just like, this is cool, just like in VR, like his avatar is just laid back, and like they start getting to know each other. Turns out she's like 18, and he's like, I gotta dip.
Honestly, he's lucky.
I gotta dip. I know, right? He was close, dude. He was very close.
Because there's hella kids on VR chat.
Yeah, dude. But he was like, yeah, I had to dip after that. I was like, good God, dude. So beware of the VR chat. But he said that he's also been playing this game. I forget what it's called, but it's basically like a military sim shooter or whatever. But it's
Is
open
it called,
world.
Body Cam?
No.
Because that looks really cool.
Is that VR?
I think it is.
Holy shit.
But the graphics on that are...
It's like completely realistic.
Photorealistic.
Completely realistic, yeah. I've seen the
I
footage for that. If that's in VR, that's insane. I
think it may be because I was watching a Russian, I think it was a Russian YouTuber, who was going through different VR games that he was playing, and that was in the rotation, and all the other stuff that he was playing was VR. So it made me think that was VR.
Well, it's a good thing that you have a new PC now, because that game looks like it would require all the hertz to run.
Yes,
on a VR headset with basically two screens.
Right. So
high refresh, it's crazy.
I've been looking into VR controllers, headsets, stuff like that.
Dude, you're gonna go down a crazy
I'm researching it. It's definitely rabbit holeable, big time.
That's fun.
But I got a good taste of it with Half-Life Alyx. I was like, there is so much potential here.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like. It was a little bit of a flash in the pan when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't really take off commercially the way that I think it was expected to.
Right.
But it's persisted. And I think it's just a matter of time. I think it's just refining the technology, making it better and more affordable.
Yeah.
And then it will become pretty mainstream. Like you're already seeing stuff like the Apple Vision Pro.
Yep.
Like if you have Apple trying to get into that space and being even moderately successful the way that they were, then I think that's the writing on the wall. Like that's the way that we're going, because being able to interact in VR is just hella cool.
It is.
So
the game that he was talking about, Alvaro was talking about, is Ghosts of Tabor.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like Tarkov.
Okay.
But VR. But
But
one thing that he's noted that I also think rings true with VR right now is that it's still just mostly kids. Like every other player that you interact with in like a PvP game is just going to be like 12. He said that he's just like constantly shooting up little kids, just demolishing them, and like there'll be like gangs of like little kids. Be like he'll be like up in like a tree house, and he'll be like, "Come out!" And they'll be like, "No, fuck you guys." They'll try to like one by one go up, and he'll just plow them all down.
I feel like
so funny.
I feel like if I was playing something like that and it had voice chat, I would try to disable the voice chat. Just I don't want to condition myself to be shooting kids.
It's not a good mind space to be in.
Right.
That's fair.
Although it is, I have seen a few funny.
It is kind of fun though.
People will play like VR Among Us, and then just like terrify the crap out of kids.
Oh yeah, that sounds so fun. That sounds amazing. I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that.
It has been quite hilarious to watch a few times.
I love scaring Mel, but like I can't do it too much, or she'll cry, and then it's
and then you feel bad.
Then I'm the asshole.
Yeah. What's your best? What's been your best Mel scare?
Dude, honestly, like I don't even try really. Like I'll try. Like the most I'll try.
You just exist, and that scares her.
Basically. Like I'll walk into the bathroom. Fair. I'll walk into the room when she's not expecting me to walk into the room. And she's like, oh, and then she's like, oh my god, you scared me. I'm like, I just was gonna get some clothes. I just
okay. Here.
I don't even have to try.
Easy solution.
Yeah,
just get a little bell,
bells around my ankle or something.
Just a collar with a bell on it.
Yeah, a bell collar.
could be like a little jingle jangle bell, or it could be like a cowbell.
Yeah,
I think she would appreciate.
She would appreciate it. But then she'd be like, oh my god, the jingle bells scared me. I wasn't expecting bells at this hour. She is such a chicken. I'll call her out right now. Mel, you're a chicken. I can't watch any movie. We can't watch any movie in the theaters. I was like, let's watch Alien Romulus or whatever. She's like, no. And I was like, we have this thing where I'll show her a trailer of a movie I want to watch, and it's generally like a thriller, suspense, mystery.
Right.
And then she'll go, and then she'll see like there'll be a scary part, like, and she'll like look at me, and I'll be like, well, that's just there's a family. They're spending time together. It's nice. Like, so the whole time I'm just trying to justify why it's not scary. And then she's like, she's like, oh, there's like all this blood like just splattered on the glass window. She'll look at me. I'll be like, well, it's good to like get your bodily fluids like recycled every now and then. Like I'll just like constantly make up a reason why it's not scary, but it never works. And she'll never watch any scary movie with me.
Okay. So viewers, if you have sleeper scary movies, like movies that you wouldn't think are scary,
right,
from the preview and from the title and everything,
right,
because I'm sure there's a few out there where it's like it starts off like you think it's just whatever, a comedy or something, and then all of a sudden it just turns on you.
Yeah. I did get her to watch. This was probably when we were earlier on dating, so it was a little easier to manipulate her. but in The Invisible Man, I got her to watch that with me, and that freaked her out. Did you ever see that one?
I didn't know.
That was good. Like, and it was funny because at some point she like realized that, oh, this is a scary movie. Mm-hmm. And did she start responding differently once she had that realization? Yeah, I mean, trauma is a fast teacher. At that point, she trusted me no longer. She just had to verify everything with like a trailer or. So does she just have like a very low threshold for like startle response? She's just always been a chicken. She's terrified of like Jurassic Park. She can't watch Jurassic Park. Huh. It's like the suspense is too great. Anything suspenseful, anything that's like anticipation, anxiety inducing, edge of your seat, even if it's like a thriller but not a classic horror, she cannot do it. She can't. Die Hard. Die Hard. She could probably handle Die Hard because it's more on the action scale. If it's more like an action movie, she can deal with like if it gets into like psychological thriller. Psychological thriller is like her kryptonite, which is like my favorite genre. So we constantly have this. Like I got her to watch The Circle. Mm-hmm. You ever see The Circle? It's like a B movie, and it was like really low budget, but it was like a cult classic. It's basically about it's an interesting movie. It's about a group of people, like 50 people, who wake up, and they all have no idea where they are. They're in this dark room. They have no idea how they got there, but they're all on like they all have like this little platform that they're standing on, and then they have to vote with their like eyes or whatever. Like they have to vote by where they're looking as to who's going to be the next person to die. So it's like every 2 minutes, beep 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 beep, the sensor goes off and it kills whoever gets the most votes. And so they have to like They can't move. If they try to step off their platform, they die. So the only thing that they can do is decide who dies next. And
that must have destroyed her.
I think because it was a B movie and so campy, that helped. But there's this like when they die, when a body falls over, there's this like invisible force that just drags them off the screen.
Oh,
And just like pulls them, and like just that, she was like, like that was the one part of the movie. She's like, I'm like, it's just an actor. They just tied a string to his ankle and just pulled him. She's like, I know, but I can't.
You know what would I'm thinking is probably one of the scariest movies for her to watch.
What's that?
Based off
Please
of this
tell
description.
me. Please tell me.
Under the Skin.
Ooh, that sounds creepy. Who's that with?
Scarlett Johansson.
Ooh, now I'm turned on.
And she's also naked.
Okay. Doesn't sound... I'll watch this by myself first, just to make sure it's all right for everyone. All family friendly.
It's underneath the skin or under the skin?
Under the Skin. Sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Oh.
ScarJo.
So
get under her skin.
It's a little like it's got a little bit of the flavor of Ex Machina.
Yeah, nice.
Just that they're not really alike.
Okay.
But in terms of like the feeling of like kind of uncanny valley, otherworldliness.
Yeah.
Like this is there, dude, that will definitely be ruinous for her.
A mysterious young woman seduces lonely men in the evening hours in Scotland. However, events lead her to begin a process of self-discovery.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
if you can get away with just the text description and get her to watch it.
Yeah.
I will be
I could be like, dude, like, so this is exactly what we'd go through. I'd show her this. I'd show her the trailer. Be like, look, let's watch Under the Skin. She'd be like, it sounds scary. And I go, but look, it's Scarlett Johansson. Don't you like Black Widow? Feminism, right?
That's the most
girl power, dude. Girl
fatuous argument. But you know what? More power to you if you can get.
I'm not saying I'm good at it, okay? Just saying I'm trying here.
Dude.
That's
okay,
so
that and then The Thing.
Oh, The Thing she would never go for. I don't think she has a thing with clowns, but oh no, The Thing is different. That's with the alien monster thing. I'm thinking of It, but it's Stephen King, right? The Thing.
I don't think that's Stephen King.
Oh, my bad.
I think that's is it Cronenberg? I literally just thought of Cronenberg because of Rick and Morty, but if it is, then I'm gonna be happy.
Oh, it's Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Thing. I have watched The Thing. I thought it was pretty good. I need to watch it again. I watched it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell was in Hateful Eight.
How was that?
It was, for a Tarantino movie, I'd say it wasn't one of his strongest, but even like a mid Tarantino movie is worth watching.
Yeah.
Like it was still worth a watch. Good performances across the board. Kurt Russell's, he crushes.
You should get her to watch The Fifth Element.
She's seen it.
Oh, she has.
Yeah. So the her one saving grace that keeps her from being just totally clueless, a totally clueless Zoomer, is her dad, because her dad is a huge movie buff, watches movie, and so
He is
she
a man
grew
of
up.
culture.
She grew up. Yeah, he basically gave her some of his culture, and so she's seen actually a lot of like decent sci-fi movies and even like music.
Awesome.
It's like all from her dad.
That's one of my all-time favorites. So I'm happy that
It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT. It's a goated movie. It still holds up after all these years. It's timeless.
it is. It is just it's a banger all around.
Yeah.
I have something for you.
What do you have for me, sir? If it's more socks, I'm like, all right, I get the hint, everyone.
There is.
Leave me alone.
There is a hint of irony, I think, given the circumstances.
Here we go. He's got a grocery outlet bag. You wrestling with something in there? What is going on here? This is Duluth Trading. Hey, you got me some of these. Buck Naked Underwear 3-pack. Performance boxer briefs. This is the brand that you always talk about.
Yes.
That you can't stop talking about.
So one of those discount stores that
Yeah.
I was telling you guys about, for some reason, actually had these at a really good value, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that.
Oh, really? You found these at a discount store?
Yeah.
At a Remart or something?
No, it was the other one. Cost less.
Cost less. Ooh, actually, these feel very nice.
Dude, you will become a convert. And
Damn.
I'll tell you right now, these things do not wear out.
They feel like wicking almost. Like they feel like very cool.
They are.
They stay cool. Like they don't keep you warm.
They're
dry.
fantastic.
Nice.
So I've had pairs of these. I was just talking to my dad yesterday about these.
Yeah.
Because we both like them.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I think I have a couple pairs that are like 6 years old.
Still going strong.
Yeah.
Nice.
This particular version, they just keep going.
Yeah.
The only thing that you have to watch out for is if you wash them on hot too often.
Oh, might shrink.
Or eventually the hot wash cycle or dry cycle will start to degrade the waistband.
Yeah.
And the elastic will give out, and then they kind of die.
Okay.
But the actual material, like you won't wear a hole through it.
Right.
It just doesn't happen.
Nice. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's even got a guy with my body type on it on the front, so I know it's tailored for me. It's made for him. Nice. Yeah, I mean, this is perfect timing because, I mean, my underwear, I don't know if we've talked about this, but it's in the same condition as all my socks. I have crazy holes. I was wearing a pair of underwear this weekend. I bent down, I just did a squat, and my entire junk, my nuts and everything was just hanging out because there was a gaping hole, like a assless chaps basically.
Underwear are supposed to contain your junk, and when they're failing that, it is time to put them in the trash.
No, it was like a trap door opened in my underwear, and then my junk just hung out. My nuts were dragging on the floor.
Was it like an upside down Jack in the Box?
It kind of was, actually. Yeah, yeah. It was Jack out the crack.
Were you crouching down and
I was crouching down to pick something up, and then I felt coldness on my nuts. felt the cool touch of a tile floor.
I've come yay close to having that happen at work.
Yeah,
because I was wearing I was commando.
Yep.
And my pants had a split. In the bottom of the groin, and I stood back up very rapidly and I did not do any more crouching that day and got rid of those pants.
Much more dangerous when it applies to your pants.
Yeah,
not just your undos. But thank you, sir.
Yeah, I hope those will serve you well.
I'm sure they will. But we're gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. Thank you very much. We will see you next week. Have a good one.
Adios.